Hello, beautifuls. Hello, hello, hello. Big hugs, big hugs. We're here. The end of June. We made it. We are hopping into the July energy reading update messages, divine reminders, any messages that we have from Great Spirit, Source, the universe, from the overall collective energy in general that is swirling about. So I'm excited to get into it. I do have a few updates, but if you are here live, then say hello in the chat. Say hello, hello, hello. Hi, Kathleen Love. Hi, Dylan Love. Hello, Spiritual Milkshake. Welcome. Welcome to the space. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel. So happy to have you here. Amazing. All right. So, first thing I want to share with everyone is that after all of these monthly lives, we do a soul circle on Zoom. And this is something that is exclusively for members and those that sign up during that month. All right. So I'm going to pop the link in there if you guys want to hop into practices, meditations, more of an intimate space with me where we can actually do a personal reading and we can all do it together. And we also get to really drop into any shares or discussions of the overall energies for this month. So if you'd like to take like 45 minutes right after this live and just really ground in and connect in this space, then definitely join it. Your first one, if you've never joined one, is free. So you can always try it out for free at first. You do not need to immediately become a member. And members, you know who you are. You will find the link. If you're signed into the right account, you'll find the link in the community tab just for the Zoom link to join us right after. It's going to be starting in 1 hour from now. Right, so this live is going to be an hour. We're going to drop into the general reading. We'll take some time to reflect and chat with one another, and then we'll get into some personal readings. I may not get to everyone on the live. It rarely happens, but if I do, amazing. So just know that. And also with these personal readings that I do at the end, they are really beautiful because they offer messages for everyone that is here. And we tend to see that connection there. So, all of you that are here right now, I'm meant to be here right now. You're all divinely led to this space. I'm going to pin this at the top. The second update I have for y'all, if you've been a part of this space for a while, you know that I am really passionate about sharing light language, utilizing it for healing, for alchemical purposes, and yeah, and overall expression. So, my dear sister Esther Joy and I are opening up the Light Resonance portal once again. And this is our space where we go through the activation process of light language to better understand it, understand ourselves as we journey through the chakra system. So, this is a really beautiful healing space to tap into your gifts, right? To tap into your divine self, the divine remembrance. So if anyone is interested in diving a lot deeper into that, Esther is here. Hi, sis. I'm going to pop the link for this too. And all of this, if you are watching this on a replay or if you come back to this, is all going to be in the description box below. But we are very, very excited to open up this community portal space. We just had a light language workshop. We called it Light Language 101 3.0 because this is our third time doing it. And we shared a lot of information about light language. If you're new to it, if you're someone that wants to offer it to understand it a bit better, that replay is going to be available as well. But I will pop this in the chat with a little bit of this powerful fun stuff. Yes, yes, yes. And the solar circle is really nice. It's a really sweet space to drop in together. So yeah, so those are all the things that are going on. If you are on my love letter list, which is also linked below, then you know all of this. And if you want to stay updated without having to hop on social media, just get one email a month in your inbox, then join that love letter list. I offer so much love in it. That's why I call it love letter. A lot of insights and things too. So Yes, yes, yes. All badged up. Yes, Esther. Yes, yes, yes. Amazing. Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. Okay. Please do engage in the chat. If there's any questions that come up, any reflections that come up, also you can do this in the comments down below. This really assists in inspiration and reflection for one another. Anything that you share can be, really enlightening for someone else, really inspirational and just connective. And it also boosts the channel. So if you enjoy this space and you want to help allow it to grow, make sure you press like, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you engage. And yeah, it really helps me and the channel and also the community here. All right. Here we go. So, because we just had the summer solstice or just the solstice. It could be the winter solstice, depending on where you are in the world. Every shifting of the seasons, I do a 3 card pull. So these are oracle cards. And basically, what we do here is we pick one card. So I'm going to show you each card. I'm going to give you a moment to take a breath, to just tune into what is the number or the card, or however it is that you tune into your intuition and pick which one. Bring that in mind, and then we're going to go by one each card and just share what that message is for you. And the intention is to really tune into what is the supportive message for you as you tune into this next cycle, this next season of your life. Okay. So from these 3 cards, we're going to do that. Da 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 da. So here's the 3 cards. I'm going to put them out like this. And you can't see my face, but okay, this is number 1. This is number 2. And this is number 3. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3. Give you a moment. We're going to start with 1. Just sharing the message here. So number 1. Number 3. Well, this is number 1, but it has the number 3 on it here. So number 1 says, waxing gibbous moon. So this card is all about preparing for this fullness of light within you. So if you feel that there is something creatively that wants to be birthed through you, maybe there are specific goals that you have in mind, desires, passions, you want to go on a trip, or you want to do this or that, or you feel called to share in this way or that way. This is this opening and this reminder to let you know that you can prepare for this full embodiment of what this is. You can prepare for it by really tuning into your creative self, this playful self, this very bright self that is lit, literally lit and sparked up with inspiration and passion and just your soul. All right. And that can look different to everyone. It doesn't always have to look like excitement or talking fast like it does for me. Like, it could look very different. It could look very peaceful and just restful, in a very restful state. So in this next cycle, if you chose number 1, Spirit is really calling upon you to recognize that this is in preparation of your full embodiment of what it is that you are bringing into your life moving forward into the world right now. So there you go, number 1. Da-da-da! Who chose number 1? Raise your hand. Put a little emoji in the chat. Okay. Here we go, number 2. Number 2, if you chose number 2, here we are. Dark moon. This says 8. There we are. So the dark moon is often known as the new moon. This is where there is not necessarily this illumination of what's happening, but it also is a sign of new beginnings. It's the beginning of a new phase, a new cycle, right? A new, like, 30 days. which is really beautiful for the beginning of the season, for the beginning of this month. It's sharing that there is some beautiful places that you get to go to within to start to seed into the infinite possibilities of what can be anchored into and intentioned for this new phase for you, this new cycle for you. Okay, so this is really calling for those that are ready to start creating in the background, right? To start doing that work, to start taking action, but also to start balancing that with the rest. We see like this really restful being. If anyone is like really called to this area, then you're being called to rest, to really tune within, really start to drop inward and connect with yourself. Okay, which is just creating space to allow you to come through in whatever way that you're coming through at this time, and to recognize that there will be like this full circle here of wisdom that comes through at this time. I also think of like the new moon as like the bleeding phase of the menstrual cycle. This is where that release happens, where the new beginnings, you're starting to rebirth in this process. So, if you chose number 2, there you are. There you are. Really beautiful. Trying to get it to focus. There you go. It's always very satisfying when I see something like focus that hard. I don't even know if it's like that hard, but like it just looks crystal clear. It's nice. All right, number 3. Who chose number 3? Here we go. Number 3, we have passion flower. 31 here, passion flower. So if you think of the passion flower, an actual plant, the passion fruit tree, it vines, it grows, it grabs on, it expands in different directions, and it has this really intricate, beautifully like, oh, curated, created, just grown flower. It's so intricate, so delicate, so beautiful. So, so beautiful. So, what this card is really bringing through is that you are in a space in this new phase to start reaching towards the growth and expansion that you're feeling called toward, to start actually taking those steps to create the support, to grab onto the support, to grow taller, to really start to explore what it means for you to go into these new ventures, to recognize that there will be a sense of mysteriousness, a sense of unknowingness in this process of reaching towards something that you think is right there, but maybe it could be a little closer, a little farther away. We don't really know what that journey is to reach our vines to this support pole, right? So we just go for it. So this is really calling for your light to be illuminated and supported in this process of your growth and expansion. So getting comfortable with not knowing how your day is going to go. And it's not even just, I don't even want to say like just getting comfortable, but just having peace with it, having some sense of acceptance with like, I don't actually fully 100% know how this day is going to go, how this phase of my life is going to go. Right. And how does that open things up for you? Your the sense of possibilities. Okay. And that does not mean that you just sit here and wait for things to happen. Like, no, you go towards what it is that you are feeling called to reach toward at this time. So if you chose number 3, boom, bang, bing, there you are. All right. So that was nice. That was nice. That was nice, y'all. How was that for you? How was it? How did it resonate? Let's take a sip of water and we're going to take a few deep breaths before we drop into the general reading. Amazing. Yeah, and the thing is if you guys have chosen or felt called to, like, 2 different cards, utilize that. If something, like, really hits you and resonates, just because you chose another card does not mean you get t you that message isn't for you, okay? You're here. No, this is not Kangen water, but, this is just the blue bottles. This is spring water. I'm a spring water lady. Mm. But yeah, this is the blue bottles. I love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, if you feel called to multiple cards, that's for you. That's for you. Receive, take that inspiration, that divine reminder. All right, let's hop in, remembering that this is a general reading. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. So if you are in a space where you can soften the eyes or close them, you can. If you are in motion or operating a vehicle, allow yourself to drop into more awareness. And we'll begin now with an inhale and an exhale. Breathe it in through the nose and sigh it out the mouth. Inhale in, fully into the belly, expand, grow. Hold it maybe for a moment with all of that air in, and slowly exhale. Arriving here and now, checking in with your being, with your posture, with your stance, any tension that you may be holding in the body. And we will begin. Okay. I just want to show you guys. Look at all the pretty colors. Little snapshot of what I'm going to be utilizing as a guide. So, the energies for July 2024 collectively, there is definitely some sadness and anger that are growing heavy, or that just have been heavy, that still exist. For some of us, it may be kind of suppressed, put in the background. We know that it's been there. We're not necessarily bringing it all the attention that maybe we were in the past, but it's there. Collectively, there is this sense of heaviness, and it comes from these emotions that are really deeply attached to um, what is going on in the world, what may be happening individually. None of it, we can see it as separate, but it really isn't. You know, the invocation of these emotions, they are one and the same. And they can feel more intense at some times and a bit more easeful in their flow at others. So, Spirit was really just reminding us that there are these hidden places where we may be feeling the sense of heaviness. And this doesn't mean that we always need to go there. But this does mean that we get to rest and create space for a release, for this energy to be moved, and for it not to need to be moved, if that makes sense, for us not to have to bring force into the process when it comes to these heavier collective energies, especially if this is something that you are experiencing but not really knowing what it could be tied to, or it could be tied to many, many different things. And this is also asking us to take action, to actually utilize this emotional energy to move forward toward our intentions and toward the world that we want to see moving forward, actually taking action. So, for those of us that may be feeling that heaviness, if it sparks energy in you or anger in you, utilize it as action. If it is feeling, more like sadness or grief, really allow yourself the space of rest and release. But allow this rest and release to look different than just, watching TV or scrolling on social media. Like, really create a space where you can be felt. Allow yourself to feel. And this doesn't mean, once again, you need to force it. With all of that coming through, um, there was an interesting message. It was sway, but do not be convinced. Sway, but do not be convinced. So this was interesting, and the visual that I was seeing was I was seeing myself and just this being in the middle of two forces that were like this far away. And their vibration was kind of like boom, hitting one another, kind of like this. They weren't really merging, but they were like kind of pushing one another back and forth. But it was almost as if they were doing it at the same time, not creating like this harmonious flow. So within that, I could feel myself just swaying. And then the message came through, sway, but do not be convinced. And so I was tuning into this and I was like, all right, what do you mean do not be convinced, right? And the question I got here was, what do you feel when you connect with the earth? What do you feel when you connect with the sky, the stars, the sun? And this was a reminder that the spirit of the earth, our spirit, our soul source, this oneness is the reminder of who we are. Anytime that we are allowing ourselves to connect to that place, it's a reminder of who we are. And in that swaying is allowing ourselves not to necessarily fully be taken by the energies and the constant, back and forth that may be happening within the collective energy right now. It's like these opposing forces almost that, don't necessarily need to be opposing, but we're experiencing it, we're feeling it, right? And this is recognizing that you can ride that wave, but not need to grasp onto one concept, onto one um, angle or side or whatever it may be. You should not need to be convinced of who you are. So this is where that connection to the earth is that reminder. The connection to the stars, the moon, if you have those connections, to the sun, to the wind, allowing yourself to really feel in what it feels like to experience wind, to breathe in the air, to bring your sight on a tree. And a really beautiful thing that came through as well was imagining each tree as an angel, a guide, a wise one, for they really are. But if you were to walk around and allow the earth and the elements to be reminders of who you are, there is no convincing needing to happen here. There is no needing you to sway to one side, to one community, one thing, to one word, to all of these things. All of that can be very much distracting. And it's not a time to get caught up in the busyness of that or the busyness of overthinking in the mind. So if you find yourself wanting to kind of logically enjoy, everything, this is a chance to really drop into you so that you can be in this sense of flow as the divine orchestration of what's happening right now on the planet gets to occur, because there is deep, loving, divine support in the subtle realms. There is support there. And there is divine orchestration in what's going on. And that does not mean, once again, that we sit still. Does not mean that we sit still. The sense of stillness can offer space, once again, to connect you with yourself, to what is here, what is alive, what gets to be, gets to come up from these more hidden subconscious places, which is so important in our healing process collectively. Um, However, this doesn't mean that this is always the state of being. The state of being is also going to be in being human and allowing yourself to utilize your hands, to utilize your gifts, to utilize your body, to utilize your mind in taking action toward what it is that we are expanding into, what really feels magnetic and true to you. So, in this process and having that heaviness kind of here, we get to shift the way that we navigate things. So if you are someone that has a pretty packed July, I know that I look at my schedule and it seems that it's not super packed, but then as I'm experiencing it and living it out, I'm like, wow, actually there's a lot going on and it's all very exciting, but it can get me sometimes in these places of I need more rest, right? Because I either haven't created the space for it or haven't fully allowed that rest to be undisturbed. So, shifting the way we navigate the busyness, shifting the way we navigate, the anger, the sadness, or the heaviness, or whatever it is that's coming up is going to be that pattern interruption. And this is huge. And we can do this for ourselves, we can do this for others. Pattern interrupt. If it's not bringing you peace and love, shift the way that you navigate it. If it's bringing you stress and tension, that doesn't mean it's not for you all the time. For in some instances, that can mean like, hey, this actually isn't serving you. And others, this is a chance for you to learn how to shift how you navigate, how you move forward, how you um, step into this or show up in this action or in this situation. If it's not bringing you peace and love, let's shift it up. Let's change it up. Okay, and letting it be playful. That was a one of the big messages here. I was like, if there is one message, spirit, what is it? Play. Oh my goodness, there it is. Play, have fun, celebrate. Don't be so serious. Don't be so serious. Play with it. This is really a reclamation of our purity and our innocence. When we bring the curiosity and the play into it, it allows the unknown to actually exist and allows us that opportunity to recognize that there is beauty in the mystery, right? That we don't necessarily, while we may be everything and all at once, it doesn't mean that we necessarily need to know it all at once. If each of us did, why would be we be in these really unique divine expressions on this planet right now, experiencing what we're experiencing? It just doesn't. I don't know, it doesn't really line up. So continue to breathe in joy and happiness. Continue to breathe in what it is that you want to pour into your life in this month, right? If you are shifting the way that you navigate things, creating a pattern interruption, start breathing in that healing, breathing in, you know, um, what it is that you want to bring. This will help you bring more presence into the moment, which can offer you peace in your awareness. All right, your awareness can offer you that sense of peace to recognize that, like, oh, I'm aware, I'm observing what's happening, and I don't necessarily need to attach to it. I get to breathe this in, I get to be present with it, I get to recognize that there is a flow. We're continuing to see this constant flow of the wind, of the water. Here on the earth, there is motion, there is life here. All right, we see there is motion, there is life. So offering that awareness to yourself and recognizing that you are going to continue to be in motion and in life as you choose to be present. So let the light in. Let the sun remind you. Breathe it in. This was a really big message last month, was utilizing this connection that we have to the sun, allowing yourself to shift that connection to the sun. If you have a more negative connection to the sun, I know some of us can grow up, having preconceived thoughts and beliefs about the sun, but it really holds as a beautiful reminder for us to receive, to take action. The light is what allows us to experience the colors, right? To experience sight. And yeah, we get to utilize each one of the elements to remind us and keep us in a mindful state of being. And this is a really this was another, like, more impactful message, was to ask, what are you hydrating in your life? What are you attracting? Right? There's all of this, like, law of attraction stuff that was, like, big a few years ago. Maybe it still is for those of us that are, like, just starting our spiritual journey. Just talking about, like, how thoughts create your reality and all of these things. We're gonna skip ads today. So what you are attracting. And when I talk about this, it's your overall energy, what it is that you're holding. Things within our subconscious can attract different situations and patterns in our lives. Yes, these are things that we can shift and change. Yes, this can also be quite ancestral and generational for us as well. This could be part of our soul lessons, right? So, one phrase of healing or one way of doing things does not work for all of us, right? We each hold our own divine blueprint. Our soul has a blueprint and this overall path that we are on, that we are taking. So, not all of it is going to be the same, right? A pattern can be something that could be specifically for your soul to move through. It could be something for your ancestry to move through at this time. So, recognizing that in your process of seeing what it is that you're hydrating, where it is that you're putting your energy, what it is that you are attracting at this time. This is really going to shift and affect the way that you experience the heaviness that is living within the collective right now. Okay, so being mindful of your magnetism, let yourself be cleansed. Do it every day if you need to. Start learning a bit more about what that cleansing process is for you. Connect with your guides to really create that process for you. Gain some perspectives of different other ways to cleanse. If you utilize any elements at all, this could be plants, this could be crystals, this could be different tools. Um, really ensure that you are connecting with that tool, with that element. All right. Really ensure you're connecting to actually understand its purpose and its spirit so that the work can actually be done for you because it is used as an ally. Remember that your intention, your energy is what's going to really allow what is happening to be real for you in your reality. All right. So if you are utilizing something as a tool, then really begin to connect with it. Okay. Don't just do it because everyone says you're to do it. Connect with it. What does that mean? That can be completely unique to you. That could be doing a bit of research, holding on to it, calling upon the spirit of it, right? Connecting with it in a gentle way to start like an introduction, like you're meeting a friend. Or you're meeting, someone that you've known for a really long time. All right, the supportive ally, really honoring the tool that you and the ally that you are connecting with in your cleansing processes. So this can be helpful, especially if you feel like you are holding on to a lot of what is not necessarily yours. Okay, is to begin that cleansing and that clearing and that purification process every single day in whatever way that you do. Okay, so be mindful of your magnetism. All right, what are you magnetizing? What are you seeding? What are you watering right now? What you are watering for yourself is what you are watering for the collective, for the planet. Okay, so recognize that it is not just you. This is what you are watering for the earth, and this is something that gets to spill over into others that are connected with you. And finally, one more message. There is this I know many are experiencing this connection to the water at this time. I feel like the events that I've been at and the spaces that I've been a part of, there's been a lot of more watery energy. We're seeing people are experiencing this watery energy, and I feel that this is a lot due to the sense of connection that we are regaining of not only ourselves but one another. However, there is a lot of fiery energy that is here, and it's something I actually mentioned in my last video was experiencing the fire and the water together in this really beautiful alchemical process. And the fire this July is, and the sun also being very prominent these past couple months, is here to assist us in burning what is outdated to ashes. So we are in this process of burning away what is not serving us, what is outdated, what we do not need to be holding on to moving forward in our processes, in our lives, in our healing, in our remembrance. So this is a call to allow the fire to bring rest and rebirth. Allow the fire to bring rest and rebirth. If there are things that you are experiencing get to be released, things that continue to come up, this is the time to allow yourself to create a relationship with your inner fire. This part of you that has that ability always to allow the rest and release, to allow yourself to be reborn, to burn what is ready to be reborn to ashes. Okay, so a lot of that energy coming through, like, yes, breathe in the love and play. Don't let yourself be convinced. Allow yourself to flow. Really take the action if you're feeling called to take that action, but also recognize what is being burned to ashes and know that this gets to happen. I think of like a campfire immediately, a controlled campfire, and you sit there and you watch it. This could be actually a really beautiful practice. If you have a fire or access to a campfire, is to just watch it go all like watch the whole entire process, like build the fire, allow all of the wood to burn, allow it to come to that place of just this glow, this like grandmother glow of light. Start to see the ashes all along it and just really visualizing what it is that you are burning away, what it is that you are releasing happening in that fire at that time. Because this is the process of what we get to choose. It's going to happen for some of us no matter what, but some of us, like, this is actually a chance to choose, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm allowing this to actually be let go, to be alchemized, to be transmuted, to be reborn into new energy. Redirect. Remember, redirect. Pattern interrupt. So, these are the overall energies for July 2024, the overall messages, guidance. I would love to hear any reflections that you may have. If anything came up for you, anything that you really resonated with, let me know in the chat or in the comments down below. I would love to know. And if you've been here this long and you haven't liked the video, please press like. Like the video and subscribe if you aren't already. Reminder that right after this, we are going to drop into our soul circle. It's going to be on Zoom, and we are going to focus a bit more on this sense of release for sure. To really drop into our light, that spark within, and releasing some of the heaviness that may be stored within the heart. So, this is kind of going to be our focus as we connect with one another in this space. So, it's a pinned comment if you guys want to join. If you've never been to one, your first one's free. There's a code on the page. If you're a member, you know where to find us. But yes, let's tune into the chat and then we will do our personal readings. How are we feeling? Let me know in the chat. Give me a word of how you're feeling. I'm going to take a bite of my oatmeal as we just let that settle. Feeling grounded, aligned. Amazing. Love you too, Esther. Doing your nails. Dylan, we got to do our nails. Heavy since 1 week. Yep. Spiritual Milkshake said, working on fire and water energy, also connecting to Mother Gaia. Yeah. That connection, it can feel so, it's just fascinating working with both of these elements at the same time while we are in a time of wind. Like, there's change happening, but like what's creating that change is like this powerful force of like fire and water, and it's beautiful. Divine orchestration here. Definitely. Widmar says, I have no anchor and everything can be true." That is very well said. Put in the chat, like, do you resonate with that at all? Yeah. Do you resonate with that at all? Feeling like I have no anchor and everything can be true. There's so much that, like, okay, actually, there can be truth in all of it. But what gets to be that anchor? What says that, there isn't one space of connection? And this is where I think that message kept it comes through of like connecting with the earth. The lands are really calling us to return to that connection as human beings, you know, as human beings. Connect to that. And to I guess that overwhelmingness, not getting caught up. That message I wrote down. What did it say? It says, it's not a time to get caught up in the busyness. And I feel like that could be like within the mind, and it can be overwhelming to recognize that, like, I don't know what the heck is going on. Or that can be liberating. And it depends on like where, we feel that anchor can even be. And when we don't have that, that's a beautiful opportunity to start to open ourselves up to what the connection to the earth and the elements is, what the connection to our guides could be, you know? Yeah. And it really is perspective, and it can be beautiful not to have an anchor either. But I know for me, like, my heart has always been my anchor. And I say this every single day. I go outside and I do my little practices, and I like hold my heart or my womb, or I have my arms up or down. And I ask to be grounded into Mother Earth, Mama Gaia, connected to Mother Earth, Mama Gaia throughout this day. May I be anchored into my heart, my soul, my spirit. May I be guided by my higher self. And I breathe into this space. This is something that, like, I teach mindfulness to kids during the summers and in after school programs, and this is like the symbol that I come back to with them, and with anyone's opening in my spaces is like putting the hands here, and then I say, may I be connected to the divine source oneness. And that at least gives me, even if I'm feeling a lot of heaviness, that sense of like, okay, I'm here, I'm supported, while all of this can be false and true, and it can be very confusing when we try to bring any logic to it, because there's so much more intricacies, I think, in the energies that are going on. But when I connect to those centers of my heart, source and Mother Earth, it's like this oneness that returns home. And it's also this a beautiful awareness to recognize that, like, hey, everything could be true, and I feel like I have no anchor. That's the awareness. In the heart, yeah. The heart is the space to come back to and to recognize, oh yeah, I'm consciousness. I'm consciousness in this human body. Living this experience. I'm multidimensional. Whoa. Yeah. Dylan says, I'm just a baby. Yeah, I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby. Some of us can feel real ancient. We're like, we've been here. I don't know what's going on, but I also know what's going on. Some interesting things. Multi-passionate, divinely supported and protected. Yes. Put the reminders in the chat. Full embrace. Full embrace. Definitely. Thank you for sharing that, Red Mars. Thank you so much. Always happy to see y'all here. Ah! Okay. Here we go. We're going to do our readings. We're going to do 777 in the chat if you would like a personal reading. These are oracle card readings. So I'm going to pull a card. Light language may come through. It may not. I'm going to share the message with you. And I invite y'all to just take a breath when I say your name or your username here. If you want me to say your name, you can type your name in the chat too, so I know. Um, if that feels nice, then yeah, just take a breath, tune into if you have an intention, the overall general intention I'm going to have no matter what, unless something else comes through for you, is to see what the overall energies are or the overall messages for this upcoming month for July. Yes. And I'm going to say, okay, perfect, awesome. Say my name, say my name. All right, cool. Let's do it. We are using this Work Your Light deck. This is what's being called to us. Let's see if I can make it focus. Work your light. Gosh, I just love it when it's all crystal clear. Like, so satisfying. Alrighties. So I'll pull one card for each of y'all. Take a sip of water. Take a couple breaths. Whoa. Okay. So I'm going to go in the order in which I see you on the chat here. It could be different. Or here, this way. Could be different than what you're seeing. Just know that I'm not intentionally skipping you at all. I'm just going in the order that I see you. And I think we should have time to get to everyone. Fingers crossed. All right. I am Angel. Let's see what your overall messages are for July 2024. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Lovely. We see the water here. That sense of connection, recognizing like, hey, there is support that is around you. There's support wanting to come in, wanting to be remembered. The water is what connects you. Ambushura kiamasia tatikana kuaratia la sia tamua. Tamua esarihia takian. Sarahia tatiana kua sarihia la kania sakua. And what's really coming through is like this big gratitude for you being here. There's so much like, thank you for being here. You don't have to do it alone. You do not have to hold it alone. The heaviness that some of us could carry is some extra, pain and maybe some what's the word? I guess the load, like we're carrying the load of others. Those are loved ones and those that are a part of our soul family too. To recognize that's part of the process because we're not here to do it alone. We're not here to hold it alone. Okay. So this is your reading. I am Angel. Calling you tribe. Connect. Thank you for being. All right. And let me know how, if that resonates or, what's coming up for you, for anything you want to share. This goes for everyone here. You're so welcome. Okay. Nikteha. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I hope so. Spiritual milkshake. Nikteha. Let's see what messages we have for you for the month of July. Okay. Two came up. So I'm going to share both. Yesatamo ora kia laitiana shiara. Protection, call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. Diasarahila kua masiara tiana kua. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. Ngi. Ndi. Nasianatu arakian, nasialakia, shotogoramo, sapiarakian, barakian. I feel there's like this 0 point that's happening as you continue to allow yourself to connect with the earth and really like enhance that relationship and that embodiment within your being, like really allowing yourself to recognize what it means to trust your body and the holding of this energy. And all of this comes along with like the cutting cords, allowing your energy to be purely like cleansed each day, kind of what we were talking about, calling back your power and just bringing yourself here and now can create more of the 0 point of what it is that you are seeking to create in the world. Be a sarakia and in your life. All right. So there's this spark here. I'm seeing it. I'm really seeing it as like this right here. It's like, oh, we're almost there to like that full 0 point of just energy. It's like a straight line. It's fully clear. And yeah, it's here. It is here. It is here. It is here. So these two things are really going to assist you in the direction of what it is that you were creating to continue doing that. So thank you. This is your reading. Let me know how you doing, how it feels. And Dylan, let's see what messages we have for you in the month of July. Oh, the cards are like, we're actually going to turn into one card. Here it is. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Just say yes. Anakiara puana, siara tuana, siara tuanai. Urapainai, apaurai, apaurai. Au. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's time to say yes. It's time to say yes to what it is that you are stepping into, what you've been wanting to step into, what you were feeling called to step into. Once again, this comes to some of the other messages of that embodiment, beginning to trust that you anchoring these things in within your being, within your action, is actually going to result in something that is aligned here. Because it is. There's no way that it will not be aligned as you allow yourself to say yes to life, open up to the possibilities of not knowing, of knowing, of recognizing that no matter what, it's how you navigate it, the way that you open yourself up to receive the support, the love, the embrace of what it means to step into the full bodied yes of what it is that you're doing, and to recognize how you are doing that. What is the opening? What is you want that to feel like? Anchor that into your being, let it rewire within you, and then move forward from that place in that process of like, okay, no, this is the way that we're going to move, not this way. We're going to move like this, and just continuing to practice that in a really playful way. And this is like a harmonization for sure of like different parts of you. So if you notice there's other parts like really coming in and being like, "Hey, I just want to make sure that this is something we want to do, something that's fully aligned with us." And then there's another part over here that's like, "Actually, I highly doubt a lot of these things." So it's like bringing like an understanding and like a meeting of the parts of your mind and part my buddy. My this planet is actually called Buddy, but parts of you to really come into a sense of like, this is the plan. Okay, this is what we're working towards. All right. I know you're really good at this and you're really good at, doing this. So why don't you be a part of this? Or why don't you be a part of this? So it's like coming together in that process. So there's your reading, Dylan. You're so welcome. Okay. Kathleen. All right, sis. Let's see. What are the overall energies or messages for Kathleen in the month of July? Hmm. I like this word. It's funny. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? The niggle is like that nudge, that instinct, the little like intuitive hit. Basura kia matiara kia shora kumoa. Ambia lakiata tian seniato o asarihiera kian. And dia salakiata tua shopuara kia. There's different aspects of you that are coming in and actually offering this wisdom. So you can see like the different versions of this woman here. And she's like tuning in and they're offering perspective. Which can really offer perspective of your ancestry. And your human makeup. And this message that comes through, and I feel like it comes through every now and then for you, is to trust your gut. To really follow that feeling, that like sacral feeling, this like feeling in the womb that recognizes, in the body that recognizes that yes, that's sacred, yes, that's sacred, no, when to move, when to stay. Like there is no need to go back and forth with anything. If you're feeling something, go for it. And recognize what it is trying to tell you. Because sometimes it is not always fully clear, and this is why we question. So that's when you just turn deeper into you. So, boom, there you go. There was your reading. Okay. Esther. Let's see what messages we have for you the month of July. Da-da-da-da-dun! Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cord. Soul retrieval. Dandia satu arakia tatiana kura sia patian. Batu arakia te asarakiam. Arehu arakia setia tokum. Tokoma tokoma toko shikarakia tatia lahia satum. Satum datume. You have every single right to do this. Are there any parts of you that are holding back from fully claiming you? Any parts of you that feel like, no. Asiera kiara kua sarahimo te karesian. Totuara kia sariara kumushariara kian. Andia salahia totua sarakia patiara kia sutukua sharahia. These are just aspects of your being that, require a little bit more love and care and nourishment at this time. And but strengthen. This is like a big call to strengthen yourself. There we go. Big call to strengthen yourself. Dia sarakia la kua sare para kua sarahiana tia te ka niasa. And this is like really to anchor you into this new cycle and phase of your being. So there you go, Esther. There you are. Okay. Thank you, Kathleen. Red Mars, you are next. Woo. You're welcome. All right, Red Mars, let's see what messages we have for you in the month of July. You are already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Tia sarakua rakiana tiam. Ondos sarahiata tia lakiasa. The energy coming through is like really playful. And it's kind of like, I giggled because there's like this playful energy that's coming in here. You're already doing it. Asiana tuara pasiara kieshoro kumusho korak padiana. Digana siela kana shoto koasam. Ambia satira kunuosha kunuosha. Ambia shoro kualakia sarhiomosa. Dia sarikumbosa tigala siara kumush. Kamush. Asiana kun. How can you tap into your play right now? The curiosity. Laugh a bit. Release the seriousness. Recognize that, like, hey, like you were on the path. Thank you. So Red Mars, this is your message. I feel like in the light language, there was a lot for you there. But yeah. Thank you. All right. One more. All right, Millie, let's see what messages we have for you in the month of July. Cool. And Rama, what are you being called to journey to? Let's see if I can get this. What's really standing out is seeing that we have the center here. But there are also like quite a few other places to explore along this space. Recognizing that you do have options. Your decision is not going to take you off path. Okay, you are on the path. So where are you being called to journey to? Where are you being called? Trust in that calling. Trust in that initial instinct that you have right now, especially if it feels more expansive, not contracting. Okay, so Millie, this is your message. Curious to see if this resonates. Strong message coming through. Alrighties. I think that's all of us right now. So thank you all so much for being here, for sticking around to receive these readings, to receive these messages. Yes, buddy. I keep touching buddy. He's over here. Just thank y'all so, 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 so much. Please do. If there's anything else that arises, anything that you want to share with others, comment it down below. Please do like the video if you haven't already. If you've been here this long and haven't subscribed, I'm wondering why you haven't. We do these every single month. And right now, right after this, we're going to take a couple minutes, but we are hopping on our soul circle. So if you'd like to join, if this is your first time, it is free. There's a free code on that link I just put up there. If you are a member and you are signed into your member account, you will see the link there in the community tab on this channel. Okay. And we'll be meeting on Zoom. I appreciate you all so much. I send you all so much love. Thank you, Source, Great Spirit, Oneness. Thank you to my heart, my soul, my higher self. Thank you to all of your hearts, your souls, your higher selves, your energy, your being, your presence, your attention. Thank you to the earth and the elements. Thank you to these messages. Thank you to all of our support teams, all our relations at this time, for this reading at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you all have a blessed and just playful July, okay? Take care of yourselves, drink water, hydrate, all of the things. Come back to this if you ever need a little extra push. I'll be posting videos every Sunday and hopping on Instagram a little bit more. I'm here like ready to really follow that flow and listen to the call of the fire. So hope you guys are too. Sending you so much love. Mwah. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.